It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
All right, we've got another question from YouTube, username Siren Eye. Very interesting username. Thanks for being here. He says, with the mega backdoor with the backdoor mega Roth option, want to make sure I got that right, looking like it might go away, or for certain people, how would you suggest investment for retirement for those with high income? So what should you do instead?
Okay, so let's think about this. Let's start at the beginning. You got high income. What's the thing that stinks for you? Paying taxes, right?
Right.
So the first thing you ought to focus on is what sort of options are available to me that allows me to decrease what I pay in income right now, right? What are the things that are available? Well, for most of us, the number one best way to legally hide money from the government is through an employer-sponsored retirement plan like a 401k, 403b, 457. And if you're a higher income, I'm thinking that means higher tax bracket, you add that up, and if your combined federal and state taxes over 30%, I think pre-tax makes a lot of sense. So right out of the gate, like very first thing you should focus on, max out the pre-tax options available to you. So like, 19.5 or 26,000 pre-tax, save that money, boom, right? Max that out. Well, then you ask the question, okay, well, what, and then also, if you work for someone that oh man, I'm getting weedy here. If you work for like a big employer and they have like, deferred compensation arrangements or, pension plans that you can like participate in, you might want to consider doing those because those are other ways to get your current year taxable income down, but not a lot of folks have those. So then you say, okay, well, I'm high income and I've already done that. What's next? Well, then you focus on, let me do the things that will save me taxes in the future. And that's like maxing out your HSA, maxing out your Roth, or in his specific case, doing the mega backdoor Roth. And what the mega backdoor Roth is, I'm going to say this just in case it doesn't go away. Most folks think you can only put 19.5 into a 401k. Not true for certain 401ks. You can do 19.5 in either the pre-tax or the Roth portion, but you can do an additional amount above that all the way up to the limit, which is like $58,000 this year, in the after-tax bucket. Well, one of the things you can do is you can do after-tax contributions to your 401k. You do not get a current year tax benefit for that, but then you can immediately do either an in-plan conversion or an in-plan in-service distribution to a Roth IRA, and you just effectively did a mega backdoor Roth contribution. Well, one of the things that the legislation said is we're going to do away with the ability to make after-tax contributions or do any sort of after-tax conversions. So maybe that's going away. So if you can't do, you've already done all your pre-tax, and you've already maxed out your HSA, but you can't do Roth anymore because you won't be able to do a backdoor and you won't be able to do a mega backdoor. Remember, one of the third buckets that we build, we got tax deferred, tax-free after tax, is just a plain regular old brokerage account. And one of the benefits of brokerage accounts is that you can tax manage those. So not only does the income in those often subject to capital gains, 15% or 20%. Now, that could be changing, obviously, with the legislation, but it's going to be less than ordinary income rates.
Sure.
There are favorable rates on investment assets that you hold inside that, depending on the type of income that they generate. And if you know what you're doing, you can tax manage it pretty well. So, like, a lot of people ask us, hey, in the middle of COVID, for your clients, what were you guys doing? I mean, the market, you might be surprised. We did not change the investment strategy for any of our clients in the middle of COVID. Right? So we were not reactionary saying, oh my gosh, we got to, go from 80-20 to 20-80. I don't think that's prudent financial management. Here's one of the things that we did do. We said, man, there's this huge opportunity where the market has lost a ton in very quick succession. We're going to go do some loss harvesting. We're going to sell positions here, and we're going to go buy asset class similar positions here. So when it comes back, we'll make the money up. So we didn't change our investment strategy, but we locked in those losses. Well, one of the things you can do if you have a really big taxable account is it allows you to do better tax planning through like loss harvesting, or maybe you're charitably inclined and you like to give money to charities or churches or fill in the blank. A charitable gift fund is a great way to do that. Your taxable account is where you're able to do that. So I think if you're a higher income individual and you've exhausted all of your tax incented ways to fund your retirement or to fund your wealth building journey, there is nothing wrong with like a regular, plain old after-tax account to continue building your wealth.
I like that you just went in the weeds.
Okay,
Can I just
good.
say, because you and Brian and all of our advisors here at the Money Guy Show and Abound Wealth are like, you're just so gifted at that stuff. But if you were listening to that and you kind of fall into this area that Syra and I was talking about, and you've reached this level of complexity, this level of a higher net worth, and there's just like not enough time you feel like to learn all of that, maybe reach out to us.
That's it.
Because that is
Think about
exactly
taking the
why
next
we're
level.
here. That's the exact kind of thing that we can help you wade through. You can go to aboundwealth.com. And I mean, we love giving away free advice. And then we've seen so many people like take the advice and it works. And then they come
Yep.
back and say, okay, now I'm like to that level where I just need
That's literally the
a
abundance cycle.
co-pilot.
That's right.
So that was a great question, Syra and I. Thanks again for that.